Basements! Almost every other horror movie has a scene in it and gives you the creeps, doesn't it? For some reason, they are always badly lit, and the door always creaks. They can be a scary place for kids as well as adults too, unless you turn it into a cool man cave. Though it's a great storage area, but if you're ever down there and feel like you're being watched, run as fast as you can. However, sometimes what makes it terrifying is the strange things found down there. Here's a list of 10 strangest things people found in their basements. The last one will make you wonder how such things can fit through the door. But before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you will never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. The XFiles Basement. London has several houses that date hundreds of years, so it's not unusual for the new owners to find strange and weird things in the houses. One of the strangest finds happened back in the 1960s in the basement of Thomas Maryland's house. The house was left empty for years, and just before its demolition, when the owners were looking if everything was all right, they found something that their eyes couldn't believe. There were a series of wooden boxes which contained the withered skeletal remains of various creatures, such as mermaids, fairies, gnomes, dragons, vampires, and even some extraterrestrials. In addition to that, some of the original tissue, such as fur and scales, were preserved with the remains. Reports say that the whole collection was a lifelong work of Thomas Theodore Maryland, the crypto-naturalist, fringe zoologist, and xenoarchaeologist. As of now, these strange artifacts are kept in a dedicated museum, where you can go visit them yourself and take a look at this strange, somewhat mystic collection. Number 9. Alligator in Ohio Basement. Some people have spiders lurking in their basement, others maybe rats. This Ohio woman tops them all. Well, you may not consider that, but this woman did the unbelievable. She kept an alligator in her basement for over 25 years. The woman was caught when a mechanic was called out to a property to perform some repair work on the building's electrical circuits in the basement, but when he got down there, he was in for a surprise as the owner was using the room as a place to keep her pet alligator. Imagine working in the basement and to your surprise, you find an alligator. That will surely take some years off your life. Soon enough, the police were called to the Madison Township's home basement, and the Ohio Department of Agriculture removed the alligator from her house. Apparently, the alligator was about 5 feet long and was believed to be 25 years old at the time, a real dinosaur. The State Department of Agriculture also reported that the owner of the alligator did not have an exotic animal permit as required by law. However, the woman surrendered the pet immediately. Number 8. Lost and sadly found. The remains of a man had been discovered buried under the basement of his former home by his son and grandsons. There had been many reports of missing people to date, and in this case, this man was thought to be missing for years, while in fact, he was lying dead and buried in the basement. He disappeared from his home in 1961 when his son Michael was just 8 months old, but Michael was always curious to find out the truth of his disappearance. So years later, he brought in a psychic in an effort to find the truth. The psychic then pointed to a specific spot in the cement basement floor and said that he could feel some energy down there. Soon after, Michael and his 2 adult sons began digging through the floor to try and clear up the mystery once and for all. With the help of ground-penetrating radar, he spotted something about 6 feet below the layer of concrete. And finally, after years, on the day before Halloween, the family found human remains at that same spot, and authorities confirmed that the remains belonged to George Carroll. I wonder why hasn't anyone looked before in the basement when poor George disappeared? And the fact that someone's remains might actually be just some feet below from where you're sitting. Number 7. Shark Tank. Usually, people think of small fishes to keep in their aquariums, but this man, Joshua Seguin, kept sharks in a pool in his basement in Lagrangeville. He also planned to sell them online. Reportedly, the pool was not less than 15 meters in diameter. He was caught in 2017 when the authorities made a search in Dutchess County, New York, after he had been stopped in Georgia with 5 small sharks in the back of his truck. The investigators found 7 sandbar sharks in the pool and carcasses of 2 leopard sharks and a hammerhead shark and the snout of an endangered small-toothed sawfish. They were all between 2 to 4 feet long, which means the pool was not big enough to accommodate all of them. The incident also highlighted an underground market for these types of exotic and protected fishes. It's because of people like these that sharks hate us. Number 6. Mummified remains. This happened back in 2010 when a homeowner was renovating his property in West Detroit, Michigan. He discovered a mummified human torso in the basement. The small torso was so decomposed that investigators couldn't tell how long it had been there. Reports say that the property had been empty since its purchase as an investment 2 years ago. Police said that the torso was probably already in the basement when the home was bought. After uncovering the remains, the owner called the police, and then the human torso was collected from a bar area of the basement of the home. What is it with people being buried in basements? Number 5. Benjamin Franklin's basement. We all know about Benjamin Franklin's efforts to make America a better place to live in, but a lesser-known story of his is about his basement, where over 1,200 pieces of bones were retrieved. Benjamin Franklin lived in 36 Craven House for nearly 2 decades, and in 1776, he left his London house to come back to America. More than 200 years later, 15 bodies were found in the basement, buried in a secret, windowless room beneath the garden. When conservationists were doing repairs on the house to turn it into a museum, they found over 1,200 pieces of bones, and later, forensic investigations disclosed that the bones dated to Franklin's day. Sources have claimed that the reason is less likely to be mass murder, and it is believed that the anatomy school, operated by Benjamin Franklin's young friend, William Hewson, had something to do with it, as anatomy lessons were a dark, ethically ambiguous business during Franklin's time. Still, it's difficult to reach any conclusion, as you all know how mysterious he was. Number 4. A hidden chapel. A chapel hidden in the basement? Can you believe it? This happened back in 2010 when Pat and Diana Farla of Telford, Shropshire in England discovered a chapel hidden beneath their home. Believed to date back to the 1700s, the discovery came out on Good Friday. The couple was actually having a celebration when they decided to check out a metal grid near the front door of their house. When the couple pulled it away, they found a large hole through which humans could easily get through. After getting through the hole, they found themselves in a small, eerie cellar. Photos suggest that it's a chapel. Experts say that there's a chance it could have been used as a Catholic hideaway or for other non-conformist religious groups. Number 3. Ancient underground city. Imagine a secret underground city connected to your basement. Sounds like a plot from a thriller movie, right? But this actually happened in 1963, as this man from Cappadocia in the 𝗕𝗡𝗔𝗓 province of Turkey got the ultimate shock when he discovered a tunnel which led to the ancient underground city of Derinkuyu. About some 60 meters below the ground, it is an entire city carved into stone beneath Cappadocia. The underground city can house about 20,000 people and livestock. Moreover, it has vents to the surface and several discreet entrances. The hidden entrances were most probably used to house people in times of war or natural disaster. Reports say that the city might be constructed during the 7th or 8th century BCE and was in regular use till the 12th century. As of now, about half of the ancient underground city is open for interested people to explore. Number 2. Armory. This man moved to a new house, and to his surprise, he found a gun room there. While he was cleaning and sorting things in the new house, he moved a sheet of plywood that was oddly placed and then discovered the gun room in the basement. The basement was full of junk when he first toured the house, as it looked like the previous owner had not moved anything, so everything was messed up. The gun room was no less than an armory, and it was full of weapons. In another safe, there was so much ammunition that it seemed like the previous owner never wanted to run out of bullets. There were even grenades. You'd think the guy was preparing for World War III or something. Number 1. A World War II German Panzer. Back in 2015, a wealthy German suburbanite of Heikendorf was found to possess a decommissioned World War II-era Panzer in his basement. Like, seriously? A Panzer tank in the basement? Kiel prosecutors ordered the search as they suspected the owner to possess weapons of war. Wait, there's more. He also possessed a German cannon and torpedo. Apparently, he was an avid collector of World War II arms and memorabilia. However, the tank was well known in the town, with the mayor reporting the man was chugging around in that thing during the snow catastrophe in 1978. Maybe cars were not his type of thing, and he liked to fool around with the tank. One thing must be clear to you by now, that is, to check your basement first before buying a house, isn't it? It is always recommended to inspect every part of the basement. Apart from that, do let us know the strangest things you came across in your basement in the comments section down below. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you on the next one.